I'm Zaya.
And I'm Sydney.
And this is
Mszl
TV. To start us off, we have Lauren with updates on the Olympics.
Hi, this is Lauren with your weekly sport update. This week, Nazi Germany took advantage of the Olympic Games and used them as propaganda. By hiding their anti-Semitic views and their growing military plans, nobody really took any real concern to what was happening in Germany. Propaganda wasn't only used in the Olympics, it was used even after the Olympics ended. For example, the very controversial documentary was released in 1938, even after the Olympic Games. However, after the Olympics concluded, Hitler pressed on for more German expansion. Germany invaded Poland on September 1st, 1939, and the persecution of Jews and other enemies of the state increased and continued. And your results for the 1936 Olympics are in. It looks like German athletes won the most medals. Nazi officials ordered that foreign visitors shouldn't be subjected to the criminal penalties of German anti-homosexuality laws. The Nazis promoted images of strong and united Germany. Adolf Hitler's Nazi dictatorship hid its oppressive agenda behind the Olympic Games. It was created by Leni Riefenstahl, who was hired by the Nazis to create a documentary about the 1936 Olympics. The Germans were also awarded much praise for their hospitality and organization from visitors coming out to see the Olympics.
Die Wege leitet, ist der Bolschewismus die Kampfansage des von Juden geführten internationalen Untermenschentums gegen die Kultur an sich. Er ist nicht nur antibürgerlich, er ist antikulturell. Er bedeutet in der letzten Konsequenz die absolute Vernichtung aller wirtschaftlichen, sozialen, staatlichen, kulturellen und zivilisatorischen Errungenschaften des Abendlandes zugunsten einer wurzellosen und nomadenhaften internationalen Verschwörerklicke, die im Judentum ihre Repräsentanz gefunden hat.
Many tourists did not realize that the Nazis removed anti-Jewish signs temporarily during the Games. During the Olympics, Germans changed some of their policies to seem like a better and more tolerant country. In general, Germany used a lot of propaganda, especially during the Olympic Games. They used bright and colorful posters and magazines.
we have Mavi to inform you on the Battle of Okinawa.
Hello, this is Mavi Tallow, reporting to you live from the Battle of Okinawa. Tonight's exclusive will be on General Buckner and his men leading us through the islands of Japan. Although it has only been a few days into the battle, it looks like we have the upper hand. I've also been informed that there are merchant ships heading our way with supplies and other goodies. Leave it to my crew and I to keep you updated with weekly news. Remember to tune back in to 5 o'clock news. To follow up with these events, please come back next week.
Up next, Sydney will update us on the concentration camps.
Things are getting really serious.
So if you want to step out of the room, you can.
The first concentration camp to exist was Dachau, established by the Nazi government in 1933. It is located in southern Germany and it opened just after Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. It was first intended to hold political prisoners, but then eventually the imprisonment of Jews. Gas chambers were built in 1942 but were never used. There were 32,000 documented deaths, but thousands were undocumented. Dachau was liberated just this year on April 29, 1945. The United States military entered Dachau and found thousands of starving prisoners and several dozen train cars filled with rotting corpses. $10,000 of the 30,000 liberated were sick, and through the years, 200,000 people. Concentration camps are located all over Germany. From 1933 to this year, 1945, Nazi Germany has established over 42,000 concentration camps. The difference between concentration camps and extermination camps is that with extermination camps, victims were killed immediately upon arrival to gas chambers. On the other hand, concentration camp victims died because of the conditions of the camps. The prisoners of concentration camps were there for shorter or longer periods of time than others. They stayed for different amounts of time, and some managed to survive the war. Hunger and physical exhaustion were the main methods, and others included lack of clothes, rest, and medical care. On the other hand, concentration camp victims died because of the conditions of the camps, an alternative of mass executions.
Somebody's going to have a lot of sweeping up to do.
Thanks, Sydney. Back to you, Mavi.
It's me again, back this time with our very special guest, General Buckner. General Buckner will be here to tell us more about what it's really like to be in the war.
To see the second of 3 films which have been made to help us size up our enemy, Japan.
This man will tell us firsthand about what really went down with the merchant ships.
My men and I very much appreciate all of the sponsoring and consideration it took to put the merchant ships together. They were very much needed, but I am also sad to inform you that some of the ships were sunk by enemy Japanese submarines.
General, I've heard that the enemy fire has been rough lately. How would you say it's been?
The enemy fire has also been rough indeed. This one is more of the bloody battles I've seen. enemy fire has been rough indeed. This is one of the more bloody battles I have seen. But on a better note, we are already able to take out 4 out of 8 destroyers. Yahagi cruiser and the Yamato. And you can tell that I'm a very busy man and I must get back to my duties so we can win this war.
Hurrah! Hoorah! Lovely words, General Buckner. Thank you so much for keeping us updated. And back to you, Zaya.
Thanks, Bobby. I want to sit here and talk about all the new fashion. Although everything is made of synthetic fabrics, it is nothing we cannot handle. Everything is hourglass figures and knee-length dresses and skirts. These sandals and strappy heels are some of the new influences of the 1940s. Hector, what did you think of the hair?
Oh, don't even get me started on these new hairstyles.
Thank you, Hector. In other news, let's talk about our swing kids fashion. These kids are clearly rebelling against the dress code and yet remain fashionable. They all seem to replicate the fashion in movies. Girls are wearing makeup and boys are dressing in American style. All of this just to keep dancing. Recently, we have been concerned about our fellow women in the big house. They're having to wear these god-awful stripes that just do not match with anything. Believe it or not, our Lucille Ball was locked up, but I think that was just a rumor. I know you used to have to wear men's workwear, but it is now modified for our bodies, along with those overalls that are now cinched to the waist. Stay safe, other ladies, and remember, we can do it.
Zur Feier der 11. Olympiaden-Neuerzeitrechnung als eröffnet.
Thanks for tuning in to
Mszl TV.
No, Bobby, that's a no. Like, that's a fat no. That's
Your mom would be so old. Okay, things are getting really serious.
So if you want to step out of the room, we can.
Oh, don't even get me started on these new hairstyles.
Stay safe, other ladies, and remember... other ladies, and remember, we can do it.
As you can tell, I'm a very...
Take serious this time.
The enemy has been firing very heavily. This has been the bloodiest battle so far.
Take 27.
This is one of the bloody... Fuck. Thank you, General Bucker.